How are things over there? All going all right?
Yeah, we done. It's Memorial Day weekend, so pretty much the gym was closed about an hour ago. So I had a chance to have my second workout for the day,
Oh,
and
nice.
have the kingdom to myself.
Oh, good.
We would love that.
Yeah, that'd be bloody good.
That's our dream come true, that is.
Yeah, kicking everybody out is not easy. Usually everybody comes to the gym like the last minute.
Oh, really? What time was you open until?
Well, usually it's open until about 11 p.m., 11 at night. But today it's until 2 o'clock because it's a short day. So everybody's barbecuing, everybody's having fun today, even though it's a Memorial Day weekend. But for some reason, people think that it's all about barbecue. Go figure.
It's bank holiday here today as well, so everyone's off work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite nice. We've already been gym, so yeah, we're all sorted for the day.
We've done
Yeah,
that one.
I managed to go. I had at 10 o'clock in the morning, I had Muay Thai, came to Apollon, and now I had like a little chest workout. So I'm done for the day. I'm beat. I'm too old for this.
Need some more assassin in your system.
I had Hooligan.
Oh, nice.
That works too.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm well excited to try the next version of that. That's going to be so
Yeah.
good.
We're waiting for it. It should be here. I think we're expecting it July, but I really think it's going to be June. So in a matter of like, I would say minimum 2 weeks, maximum about 4 weeks, we should have it by then. So you can expect a nice shipment. Hopefully there's not going to be any fuck-ups this time around.
No, that was an unlucky one that time, I think.
Yeah, I actually have it here. We have it here. They sent it to us. They sent it back to us. We have it.
Yeah.
The
Oh, you
first
still
batch.
get out? Yeah, of course, because you sent out another one before it got back, didn't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Oh,
They
that's so
were-
annoying.
oh, yeah, because I plan to send you also peanut butter. I'm going to give it another shot. Hopefully you're going to get the peanut butter cookie this time. So we're going to send you Hooligan and everything else.
Oh, thank you for that. That's brilliant.
Awesome.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, can't wait to dive in. We'll start rolling with the questions then, if you're
Go ahead.
ready. So the first one is regarding obviously Juan Morel winning the Arnold Classic. So how did that affect Apollon Nutrition and everything? How was that?
And you.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I think that we expected that Juan's going to do very well. So it was fully expected. To say that the sales went through the roof would be, I can't say that that's the case. There's definitely a spike because Apollon has been growing steadily for the past year or two. We've been really having a very, very nice and steady growth. So Juan obviously is a huge name right now in the bodybuilding world. And I would say he probably hit his peak or about to hit his peak because the guy seems to be getting better and better with every show. So that helps the brand, of course. And the fact, I think the main thing about Juan is not just the fact that he wins the shows. I think it's the fact that he's one of very few athletes that is actually using the products that he's endorsing.
Yeah.
I keep saying it again and again and again. You can walk into Bev Francis Powerhouse Gym any day, and he trains at the same time, twice a day. It's usually around 11 o'clock in the morning until about 1. And then he comes back 5 in the afternoon, and he trains, I think, for another hour or two. And I guarantee you, you're going to see Apollon products somewhere around here, whether it's going to be a pre-workout or it's going to be Enigma or Chainsaw, but you're definitely going to see an Apollon product. I think the fact that he has about 500,000 followers and that he's such a humble champion and that he's so honest, you can see when somebody's fake without mentioning any names, because that would be majority and we would be spending here probably 3 days talking and naming everybody. But the guy actually does follow what he preaches. So the fact that he actually uses Apollon products, I think that's in itself, whether he places first or last, of course we prefer that he's first, I think that affects the sales regardless because people believe him. People believe Juan Morel. He has a very, very good reputation. He's a family man. He's a trainer. His clients are doing phenomenal. Every national show, his clients are getting pro cards, and they are using Apollon Nutrition products. Of course, he would not advise his clients to use products that he doesn't believe in. And, the orders that we are getting from his clients and, from people associated with him just tells you that he believes in them. And I think that in itself gives a spike to Apollon Nutrition. So yes, New York Pro definitely helped. Brazil definitely helped. But I think it's just having one associated with a brand that helps the brand grow. We can have somebody, a hater, saying that Apollon Nutrition products suck, or you know, they have too much caffeine, the usual bullshit. But at the end of the day, you have somebody who is a high caliber athlete doing phenomenal, using the products, is a role model for young and upcoming bodybuilders. I don't think it gets better than that in terms of advertising. So I think one placing helps, but I think one
definitely. Actions speak louder than words at the end of the day.
at the end, yeah, exactly.
Are you? My guess is the goal for Apollon is to continue to sponsor Juan. Is that correct? Or you?
We signed one last year for 1 year, and Juan was not looking for any sponsorships. He's doing very well for himself as a trainer. He also had, I don't know if it's bad relationship. Well, he never had bad relationships with other companies, but Juan is the type of person that he would like to endorse something that he believes in. For him, loyalty, quality, respect, I think that that's something that we have in common. And he was not looking at the time to be sponsored by a company. Only only after he tried the products and examined them himself that he decided that he wants to come on board. And it was his decision to come on board. It was a mutual agreement. So the agreement was for a year. We also had a couple of bad experiences with other athletes, which is no surprise. And his contract was up at the end of April. And we're happy to announce that, we renewed the contract. It was a mutual agreement, and he is with us. So we definitely continue to, to work together for years to come, because it's a match made in heaven. I think that we speak the same language.
Definitely. And the fact that he agrees with all the products is really key.
Yeah,
I think he's a great representative of the brand. I don't think, maybe I'm being a little bit biased, but today in bodybuilding, I don't think there is a better representative for the brand of Apollon Nutrition. Of course, the brand can be used by fighters, by powerlifters, all kind of athletes, football players. But in terms of bodybuilding, I don't think it gets any better than Juan Morel, because of the status, the fact that he is an athlete, he is a trainer, and just his personality. It's no secret that he could have. Apollon is not a big company. It's a small company. It's a steadily growing company, but nevertheless, it's a small company. And after the year was up, within that year, he placed second at the New York Pro last year. He won the Toronto Pro last year, and he won the Arnold Classic only a week before re-signing with us. So obviously, the offers were there. He could have signed with somebody for, I personally believe, and I know for a fact that he could have signed for a more lucrative deal in terms of financially. But everybody who knows Juan, they know that he's not just about money. And I respect him greatly for that, because for him, loyalty, respect, friendship, he always says we are family. And I believe that we became family. And we basically signed a contract without me looking into it too much, or him. We just signed, shook hands. He does more for the brand that he's supposed to, and I believe, we honor every term of a contract, and I believe that we deliver everything we promise and then some. So the relationship is way more than just, a company and a sponsored athlete. I'm not even comfortable saying that he's a sponsored athlete, because I think he represents a lot more than that.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Let's move on to another interesting question. Will you ever fight again?
I don't know. I really don't know. And it's not because I'm trying to get away from that answer. The truth is, I actually talked to my coach this morning. I do believe that at 44 years old, I'm the best I've ever been. I firmly believe that I've improved tremendously in the last couple of years. And I still think that I can be competitive to an extent, without, having any illusions about becoming a world champion or something like that. I am being realistic. The problem is that Apollon is growing, and it demands a lot out of me. There's a lot to be done, whether it's formulas, products, sales, appearances, travel, Apollon Gym. Just a lot has to do with the brand itself. and training twice a day and committing for 8 to 10 weeks and always risking somebody pulling out of the fight, which I've had before too. And let's face it, there is no money in Muay Thai. There is no money in kickboxing. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying that it's about money, but I'm not 22 years old that has nothing else in life going on. I do have responsibilities. I have a family. I have my daughter. I have people that depend on me. So I do train. I hope that I will fight again. I really do hope so. Maybe even in the near future if the opportunity presents itself. I'm trying to stay in shape, and I'm definitely not ruling it out. So it's possible, yes.
It'd be more for fun then, for personal development rather than making
Yeah,
money or something like
I'm
that.
trying to improve. I'm trying to stay in shape. I'm not ruling it out, but as of right now, there is nothing concrete. I mean, we could have this conversation maybe tomorrow, and I could tell you guys I'm fighting in 2 weeks. It's
Yeah,
possible.
changes to the day yeah.
Yeah, it depends on a lot of circumstances, where the fight is, who I'm fighting, where it makes sense, if I'm healthy, everything comes into a place. Other than that, I'm just going to continue trying to improve and be the best I can.
Definitely.
Definitely.
What would you like to ask next? We've got a few questions prepped.
Sure.
So one question that we always like to think of, and it's something that interests us a lot, and that is, what do you consider to be the better product, Assassin or Hooligan?
That's the question that everybody's asking constantly. Hooligan, without a doubt. And yes, the thing is that you know, I can say that you guys and we became friends over the year, and you know that I'm just being honest by saying this. Assassin is a great product, without a doubt. It tastes like shit, but it is a great product. I think that it delivers, despite all the hate and criticism, it has a cult following by now. People like it, people appreciate it. Uh, those that understand supplements, they know what we're doing, and it's a great product that has its place. I do believe so. However, it's I think it's directed mostly towards those that require a little bit high amount of stimulants. So as much as I hate calling them stim junkies, but I guess that's what they are. And it definitely has its place, I think, in powerlifting, in strongman competition. Those guys definitely need that drive and that focus. So without a doubt, in terms of working out for pure bodybuilding purposes, and that's the vast majority of our customers, I would say. I just think that Hooligan presents itself as a better product, is in terms of it will give you a better pump than Assassin, without a doubt. I'm also basing on the fact that the new upcoming Hooligan, I just think that shuts the door pretty much on everything else out there. And when it comes to a combination of both energy, endurance, focus, pump, I think it has it all combined in one pre-workout. I wouldn't go and say that it's the best pre-workout for fighters. Definitely not. I still think that Kumite holds that status. But in terms of overall for people that go to the gym, in terms of lifting and having that tremendous razor sharp focus and that pump that everybody obviously wants, I just don't think that Assassin comes. Not that it doesn't come close. I just don't think it's on the same level. And and let's not forget the fact that Hooligan tastes better.
Yeah, so just different audiences, really, isn't it? And Assassin's more of a niche market, whereas Hooligan is hitting a wider spectrum of people.
I think so. I agree with you. I definitely agree. And I think with Hooligan, it also presents itself that if you don't want the 600, 700 milligram of caffeine, I think I just slipped the information that the next Hooligan is going to be 700 milligram of caffeine. Oh. I just realized that. Oops. Uh, yeah, I'm not going to go lower. That you know me by now. So yeah,
Always goes up.
yeah, it will have 700 milligram of caffeine. It's not going to be six. It's going to be 600 of caffeine anhydrous, just like the current one. But it's also going to have 100 milligram of decaffeine malice. So it's going to be a little bit of a more prolonged. Definitely going to guarantee no crash whatsoever. But if you decide to go with half a scoop and not have, because let's face it, the truth is not everybody needs 600-700 milligram of caffeine. If you want 350, you can get away and then maybe use half a scoop of bare knuckle. Boom, you have a product that, you know, has less caffeine, but just as much in terms of a pump, endurance, focus, and all that. So
even taking the half scoop. And what do you, Rob, interestingly, what do you say? Because there is a lot of people that say this. What do you say to the people that say anything over 400 milligrams of caffeine is dangerous? What do you say to that?
You know, that brings me to a point that a certain reviewer said that I am reckless. So I will address that first of all. In terms of being reckless, I believe that you are reckless when you don't disclose the information on your label. Without naming, there's a certain brand that came across my desk a couple of weeks ago, actually, and it was a prop blend, which is very, very well known.
Yeah.
It has absolutely nothing in it, nothing. I mean, it has a serving of about 4 or 5 grams total. It's a prop blend. Yes, it's 4 or 5 grams. I'll be more than happy to send you, so it's going to be entertaining for you to see. However, the prop blend, it was tested, came out with caffeine content over 1,000 milligram.
Wow.
That's the risk, isn't it?
Well, that's a thing, you know, it's definitely going to fuck you up. I mean, not in terms of health issues, because let's face it, even 1,000 milligram, a lot of people can handle it. But you will feel it. You will feel it. You will go like, what the fuck? You know, I mean, I really feel energized. But the reality is, other than 1,000 milligram of caffeine, there is absolutely nothing in that product. Nothing. I mean, it's a prop blend that has absolutely nothing. I mean, my guess, it probably cost the manufacturer $2-3 at the most. It will give you the kick. It's definitely going to give you a kick. It's going to light you up. But it has more caffeine than Apollon uses by far, yet absolutely nothing else in it. So when it comes to criticism over, you know, 600 or 700 milligram of caffeine, well, let's address it for a second. There are concrete studies that all it takes for you is Google it, where you will find that for athletic performance, the studies have been done on a 150-pound athlete, 400 to 600 milligram of caffeine. 400 to 600. In fact, there are studies that have been done with 900 milligram of caffeine that proved to improve performance. Now, let's go to the fact that every pre-workout on the market is intended for different markets, for different people. We're all different. I'm different. You're different. We all have different goals. But we are talking about this place. Over here, you have a lot of athletes. And people are forgetting that our products were directed or intended for use by people that go to Apollon, to hardcore gyms, people that are a little bit on a different level. There is not one interview or any statement where I actually said that Hooligan or Assassin should be taken by everybody. We don't even market it to everybody. I'm the first one to say that you should not be taking it if you're a beginner. I'm the first one to say that you should try and use half a scoop. I'm the first one to say that maybe you should use bare knuckle, which is a phenomenal product without absolutely no stimulants. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 milligram of caffeine for a healthy athlete, experienced athlete, is not really that much. However, if you don't want to use it, don't use it. But calling me reckless, where I'm actually stating facts, I'm stating like, listen, this is how much I put in my product, take it or leave it. You don't want to use it, don't use it. But there is a concrete data that shows that that amount is actually not overboard. It's high, it's definitely on a higher end, but it's not overboard. I'm not exceeding anything. In fact, to get to the toxic levels, you need to get into thousands. You know, this is nothing. Have 2 bangs a day and you're already at 600 milligram of caffeine. So, you know, it depends how you react. I mean, you guys used Assassin, you okay. You've used
exactly.
Yeah,
we were surprised about how well, you know, we put all the stimulants into training. It translated very well into training.
And like you say, though, it's disclosed. People can see that amount. They can choose whether to take it or not. Whereas with that, for example, that 1,000 milligram prop blend, anybody will just buy that thinking it's just a regular pre, and then before they know it, they've taken that much caffeine without even noticing.
Your average Joe could take
And the
it.
fact remains is that caffeine is extremely cheap. It's probably the cheapest ingredients of all of them. But you know, don't neglect the fact that you have 6,000 milligram of citrulline. Don't neglect the fact that you have 1,000 milligram of agmatine. Don't neglect that it's a combination of other ingredients to have a comprehensive workout. The same individual claimed that I'm reckless with caffeine and DMHA. Yes, DMHA and Assassin, which, by the way, we're going to remove because it's going to become illegal very soon.
I was just
And
about to ask that.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have anything in Apollon products that is illegal. If it's banned, it's banned. Even if I disagree with the government, if it's illegal, then it's illegal. And I'm going to obey by those rules. However, if we're talking about DMHA and Assassin being 300 milligram or Urea Genesis being 300 milligram, I was accused that it's too much. But my question is, do we know what too much is? Because the last I checked, there is not concrete data or studies confirming what is the right amount of DMHA. It just happens to be that everybody's been using 50, 100, 150, 200 milligram. Well, I've used it. It did nothing for me. You know, it didn't do that much. And when every time our manufacturer sends us samples, I give it to try to a bunch of athletes in the gym, and they give me their feedback whether they feel it or not. So it's intended for their use. So for all I know, maybe 300 milligram of DMHA is actually on the lower side. I don't know. Neither do you. Nobody knows. You know, so how can you say something is too much when we don't know what too much is? It's stupid. It just happens to be that Assassin with those dosages works. It works. It delivers results. But in terms of being reckless or too much, for those individuals that don't want to use it or they think it's too much, simple, don't use it. You know, others that want that product, they will use it. And considering, you know, sales have been constantly increasing, the popularity of the product among those that have used it is incredible. The reception's been great. It doesn't indicate that we should do anything different. You know, people like it. People like it. We have our market. We're not stepping on anyone's toes. We're not trying to steal anyone's clients. You know, if people don't want to use it, they don't use it. If they want to use it, they will use it. But the hate that comes, it doesn't come surprisingly from reviewers such as yourselves or TJ or the supplement engineer. Those are everybody, or 5-minute reviews. Those are all people that are actually reviewing products independently without getting paid. But it's very, very surprising when you actually criticizing my product over nothing. Nothing. You don't even have anything to back up your claims. You're calling me reckless, you have no backup. You saying I'm using too much, but you have no scientific proof that I'm using too much. Yet at the same time, you are worshiping and promoting another company that has been sued, that has been notorious for failing tests, and you proclaiming that they the best thing ever. Well, that tells me one thing. Either you're extremely stupid individual, or you got really paid very well to lie, but then you're not a reviewer, you're a bullshitter, you're a marketer, your channel is basically, it's an infomercial rather than, you know, independent review channel. It's a fact.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That leads me on a kind of, obviously you mentioned that DMHA is starting to go through the process of, I don't know the exact ins and outs of it. Obviously I've heard that companies are starting to appeal this decision or try and change it back to how it was. But have you got a formula for a new Assassin if
Yes.
it really does have to get removed?
I already have the formula for a new Assassin. We already actually tried it at Apollon. The problem is it tasted even worse, which was not that good. I mean, it tasted so bad that even I had to say no to it. So, I mean, that just tells you that it worked, but it really tasted awful. I mean, from being something that you, as TJ says, drinkable, it was not drinkable. It was a challenge to get it in. So we're trying to at least improve slightly on a flavor if we can. We're trying to play with different flavors as much as we can. So the formula is in place and it seems to be working just as good. Do I agree with the decision that DMHA should get banned? Of course not. I mean, I haven't seen anything to prove that it's dangerous. I haven't seen nothing in terms of side effects where somebody would get hurt or something happened. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, maybe there is a long-term effects to it. It's possible. It seems like the government tells us to stop and it shuts us down without concrete evidence of why. Um, Unfortunately, the laws are the laws, and you kind of have to obey by them because there is not much you can do. So if it comes to to decision that DMHA does have to be removed, then we're ready for it. We just DMA was removed and we dealt with it quite successfully. So I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Another question. Out of all your products, what one would you say sells the best, the most?
Wow, that's a tough one. You know what? Maybe it's because it's summertime and people are also getting ready for shows. So I would say Chaos. Chaos right now
Yeah.
is pretty hot. Hooligan is always a staple. Hooligan is just like pretty much I call it a flagship of Apollon products. In terms of protein, because of the taste, I mean our protein does taste phenomenal. And it's not me saying I'm pretty sure you heard about it. Apollon protein does taste. I mean, from what I hear, it's not about even me. Everybody who tried it says that it's the best tasting protein, and I do believe it is. I mean, I've tried a lot myself, but I would say peanut butter cookie right now is right up there, and probably actually sells more than chocolate, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, it does sound really good. We've got the vanilla one, and I can concur. It is very nice, really nice.
We need to do a blind taste test when we come see you.
That's the thing. I actually challenged companies for a blind taste, and nobody.
Nobody really. They're scared.
That speaks volumes.
Nobody. I mean, there is a best tasting protein on on a regular basis. You hear best tasting protein, best tasting protein, best tasting protein, but who votes? I don't know. I mean, there are companies who are giving away products for free just so you could vote. I mean, clearly that's not fair. Let's go to a gym. Let's go to a shopping center. Let's go to a mall. Let's go to a supplement store and pull 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people. Let them try different proteins and let them decide what is truly the best tasting protein. I'm more than willing to do it. And if I lose, I'll shake the winner's hand. I will absolutely have no problem with that whatsoever. But for some reason, nobody wants to do it. We posted about it. I wasn't an asshole about it. I was just like, guys, you know what? You're proclaiming yourself to be the best tasting protein. Let's give it a shot. Let's see who truly is the best. Because, we're putting a lot into it, and it's a little bit unfair when I see that a review channel proclaiming somebody to be the best tasting protein just because I didn't pay them, but they did. I mean, then you're not a review channel. Nothing wrong if you had, for example, yourselves like a backdrop of a company. I don't know, Radcon. Oops, did I say it out loud? If you had a backdrop and said that the program is sponsored by a company, I don't think anything wrong with it, but at least you're being honest about it. I said it before. You can love Dave Palumbo or hate Dave Palumbo. He has his own supplement line, Species Nutrition, but each his program starts with this program is sponsored by blah blah blah. So he says, yes, I got paid, but there is nothing wrong with getting paid. I'm not against it. I'm all for it. I think people should be making money. I don't think it's wrong to be sponsored, but don't have a show where you're saying that today we're going to review a product. Okay, this product sucks. Why? Because they didn't pay us. That's not how it's supposed to be. Or don't hold a bottle of some prop blend garbage and say this is actually pretty good. This is one of the best I've ever had, because we have people who are not educated and they believe you for now until they realize that you're full of shit and they stop watching you. Then your credibility is out.
Yeah, that's like we've always said. We're always going to stick to the truth. We've had to be like, you could call it realistic about certain companies, and then unfortunately we've been blocked or we've had abuse, etc., etc. We just got to keep it honest out, and we see a lot of paid. Well, we can only assume they're paid reviews, some of them, because you can. It's easy to tell when someone's everything's 10 out of 10. when the product, in fact, like you say, is prop blend. It tastes like, we've tried it and it tastes like rubbish. It has no good effects. And there's just so much more. It's more hype and marketability rather than what's in the product. So that's why
I totally agree with you. I just saw something on social media recently where there was a bunch of people were involved in a discussion about prop blend, and there was something, not all prop blend are bad. Perhaps. I still don't accept it. I'm sorry, it's just me. I mean, it's, to me, why would you hide? We all know that citrulline is great at 3 to 6 or 8,000 milligrams. We know that. So now you're putting citrulline is in your formula. I want to know how much. Not because I'm going to judge you, not because of that, but maybe you have 3,000, maybe you have 1,000. Let me at least know about it so I can go outside. Maybe I like your product and buy more citrulline so I can stack it with that product, because I know I'm only getting 1,000 in your product. I know it's not enough. The rest maybe of your product, the rest of the ingredients and dosages, maybe I like. But you decided that you're not going to have enough citrulline for me. Don't you think that I should go and buy in a supplement store pure citrulline and add it to my pre-workout? Now we're good to go. I'm sorry, but there are guys who are doing diets and contest preparations, and they're sending out programs. They tell you 8 ounces of chicken. They don't say chicken. They tell you 8 ounces of chicken, 10 ounces of chicken, and nobody says to you, use testosterone and enthate. No, they actually tell you, I'm your coach, use testosterone 500 milligram a week, split in 2 dosages or something like that. You know exactly how much you're putting in your body. We know what works, and that's the only way to get results. So I'm not going to, there's somebody who said, let's discuss prop blends. I'm not going to discuss it. I will never change my mind. It's not because I'm stubborn. You cannot prove to me or make an argument that prop blends are good. I don't care. You can throw in my face secret formula, which doesn't exist. You can throw in my face that you're trying to protect something. You're full of shit. You can say whatever you want. I will never accept prop blend because I believe it's a scam. To me, it's a scam. Reveal your cards. Same thing with 600, 700 milligrams of caffeine. What if I give you in a prop blend and I'm going to say Hooligan has caffeine in it? I'm not going to tell you how much. Well, that's not right. You should know that you just put in your body 600 or 700 milligrams of caffeine. You should know that you put in your body 200 milligrams of caffeine, because maybe you have health issues that you should not be drinking caffeine at all. Maybe even Diet Coke is not good for you. I mean, it's very, very possible. So I think that we know our bodies, we know what we want, and we deserve to know what we're putting inside.
Yes, it's the principle of telling people the truth and being honest. And 9 times out of 10, the reason they don't disclose all of the dosages is because they're trying to hide the fact it's underdosed. So,
of course,
and then they'll obviously claim that it's because it's a secret formula, like you say, but that's never the case.
No, absolutely. I looked at the other day, I looked at the formula for Hooligan. If I put it in a prop blend, it would cost me half of what I'm paying for. I mean, it's an expensive product to manufacture to be so stacked. A lot went into it, but I could have probably saved minimum 50% if I put it in a prop blend. So you would still see exactly the same ingredients, just a lot less. And I could have easily put 1,000 milligrams of caffeine too. You would feel it.
Exactly.
Definitely. All right then. So let's look what else we've got here.
Number 4 might be an interesting one.
Yeah. So tell us about Carolina with her appointed VP of Apollon Nutrition. Tell us a little bit about that. The backstory of that.
Well, she's actually around here, but she's hiding. She's been with the company pretty much from day one. She's been with Apollon Gym for the past 6-7 years now, and she's done a spectacular job. I mean, absolutely amazing. We're talking about the gym that was 400 members, something like that, and right now it's a 1,700 member gym, and I mean, triple, quadruple that. So her role in running the gym or the day-to-day operation speaks for itself. People like her. People are scared of her, which I guess is a great thing too. You've seen her. She can kick ass too. So But she's been also very, very much involved, of course, with Apollon Nutrition, whether running the booth at various shows, doing videos and photo shoots. So she became a very recognizable face of Apollon. And like I said, her contribution to the growth of the company goes without a doubt. In fact, once we announced that she is a VP, people came up to us and said, "What took you so long?" Some people said, "Well, there is no surprise. Wasn't she the boss before?" So it's one of those things that it kind of happened naturally. It's mostly Apollon Nutrition is owned by me and my wife Marina, and she's a little bit more behind the scenes, but nevertheless, of course, very, very involved. And we sat down, we discussed the fact that when I'm not around, either I'm on the road or something like that, the person who runs everything and makes sure that everything runs smoothly is Carolina, and she's very, very much involved. And there are things about the brand and about the operations that even I don't know. In fact, when I go to different shows and she manages the booth, I don't even, I don't run the booth. She runs the booth. She decides who's going to be with her at the booth. She decides how everything's going to run at the booth. And, when it comes to international sales, she's very, very much involved, especially right now, the deal that we are doing with Russia and different countries. She's pretty much involved in every aspect of the business. So the decision was very natural. The transition's been very, very natural. And honestly, nothing changed. She's exactly the same Carolina. She does exactly the same as she used to do, before the announcement. And, it's just, you read the comments. Pretty much everybody who knows her said, well, it's about time. So we did what's right and gave her the respect that she earned and, the title that she obviously deserves.
Yeah, and a big congratulations to her, really. So that's brilliant news. Helping you go worldwide, really, by the sounds of it.
Thank you. That was good. We're very happy about that decision, and especially, being, I don't want to say burned, but I've dealt with a lot of people throughout the last 4 years of Apollon Nutrition, finding the right people and finding loyalty, finding that friendship, that respect, that close knit, family oriented kind of people that are there for you, not just for the money, but they actually care about the brand. It's not very easy.
No.
It comes down to athletes, it comes down to employees, it comes down to everybody. Usually the first question, well, what am I going to get paid? What am I going to get? Carolina can be at the gym, at the office till 6 o'clock, but for some reason she stays until 9 or 10 in the evening, and until everything is done, she's not going to leave. And it's not very common these days to find people like that.
No, it's not.
Definitely, doing it because they're loyal and they enjoy it rather than just for money, basically.
Absolutely, and that money. I always said money is easy in terms of like you can earn money if you work hard and if you dedicate it and if you give your best and you have the passion and the drive. Pretty much anything in life can be achieved, including money. But sometimes life is a little bit more complicated than that, and especially things like I've said before, loyalty, friendship, that's not easy. That's hard to find. And when you have it, you keep it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Well, no, that's brilliant news. Let's move on then. Anyhow,
what else have we got here?
Yeah, so let's actually mention that. Actually, that is a good one. So Jarrell Big Baby Miller failed 3 drug tests and lost a chance to fight Anthony Joshua. Tell us what you think about that, really.
I've been asked that question a lot, and I kind of avoided talking about it in the open. I know you're the right guys to, well, especially you British, and Anthony Joshua is British, but I'm a huge fan, by the way. You know what? Jerrell is a good guy. I've said it many, many, many times before, and every time I've met him, he was nothing but respectful. He's very goofy. He's fun. He's definitely, the name Big Baby fits him very well because he is a big baby. He's a flirt. He has a good sense of humor. He's always late for a meeting, which will drive you insane. But he's a good guy. I really believe he's a good guy. In terms of performance enhancers, I, it would be, I would be a hypocrite if I said that, I'm judging it because I've taken performance enhancers, and everybody who either fights or, does bodybuilding or something like that, for us to judge somebody who failed a drug test would be, I think it would be disrespectful, and it would be against my character personally. Um, I think he fucked up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really think he fucked up because there was a lot of money on the line, and I think that the opportunity to fight for a title and knowing that you're going to get drug tested, I think he made a very, very bad call. I, there is no doubt about it. Um, in bodybuilding specifically, there is no drug test. We know that bodybuilders are not natural. But we kind of accepted it as a cult sport, as a niche sport, and we're fans of it, and we rather talk about protein and diets and training than drugs, because the thing is, we all know that bodybuilders are using drugs, but so do the fighters. And if you think somebody, and not only fighters, if you think that to do Tour de France without drugs is possible, then you're out of your mind. I mean, it's just one of those things. Drugs, I'm not saying that drugs should be legal, because it's a very, very complicated conversation, and I don't even want to get into it. We could always say that to even the field and stuff like that. But if you think for a split second at the age of 44, I can perform naturally against somebody who is 25, then you're out of your fucking mind, because the truth is, we as we age, our testosterone levels drop. So, for recovery, for performance, we do need it. We just not something that we want. It's something that we need. And if you think that anyone enjoys, at least I don't, to stick a needle, then no, it's not a very enjoyable process. At least not for me. I hate it. Um, what Big Baby did is very, very stupid. Why? Because he knew he was going to get tested. So it was not a smart. Whoever advised him, um, I don't know, should be beaten up pretty severely. In my opinion, he should
Yeah.
he should be Anthony Joshua's punching bag for giving him a bad advice. Uh,
Yeah.
I yeah, I don't agree what he did. I think it's stupid. Nevertheless, I do understand that drugs have presence in fighting. Drugs have presence in professional sports. They always have, and they always will. I'm not going to say that Anthony Joshua is using something because simply I just don't know. Um, and I would never accuse anyone because if I don't know, I don't know. As simple as that. To me, just it was a little bit surprising that Big Baby knew there's going to be a test. He signed knowing that there's going to be a test. He got tested, and then he failed for 3 different drugs. Um, Cartering, I think that everybody I know in fighting, a lot of people at least, are using Cartering because we know it helps with endurance. We know it helps with fat loss. So it's a very, very popular drug. SARM, well, it's not technically SARM, but nevertheless. Human growth hormone, well, we know what it does, so no surprise there. In terms of EPO, I mean, I wish I could use it. It definitely helps. But the thing is that he fucked up. He knows he fucked up. You don't kick a man down, or when you don't kick a man when he's down. And I think that that's what a lot of people have been doing. He just a human being who made a bad call. I still like him. I still respect him. I actually just saw him at the New York Pro, and I said hi. And you know, he has been with Apollon Nutrition prior to the test, which had nothing to do with him failing. We didn't drop him or anything like that because we turned our back because everybody else did. That's not the case. It's just certain things that were happening with him promoting the company was not was not acceptable to us. It was not an. It was. I think he was just way too busy, with prepping for the Anthony Joshua fight, personal life, or whatever else. So he was not exactly performing like, say, Juan is. Uh,
Yeah.
so it just we went kind of separate ways. But to say that I have something against Big Baby, or um, I would be disrespectful to him or judge him, no, not really. It's just my personal opinion, like everybody else's, that the man fucked up. And he's not the first one. He's not the last one. And I think everybody should just move on. I think he's going to pay for it for the rest of his life. And,
Yeah.
uh, I wish everybody will leave him alone. He's a good guy, made a bad call. He's not
Yeah.
the first again. I've made bad calls. I'm pretty sure you've made bad calls. It's just part of life. So I wish that everybody would just leave him alone.
Hopefully it will blow over. Hopefully it will.
Yeah.
And a question that we're probably going to finish up on, and it's a good question. With Apollon Nutrition supplements, have you got anything new on the horizon? Is there anything that might be coming out that you haven't perhaps done before that you can talk about? Where do you want it? Where do you want Apollon to go, really?
Well, one thing is for sure is that we're not going to change our strategy or who we are. I just saw last week a very well-known company who was only 2 years ago was pretty much destroying everybody who had a prop blend, and they were saying that they would never release a prop blend, and then against prop blend, and then boom, and they release a prop blend. So that is something that I could be just like them and say that you will never see it with us. But then again, in 2 years you could say, like, remember you said that. So I think by now you know me. So we're not going to release anything that is prop blend. It's just not going to happen. I think that our market is the hardcore market. Our market are athletes. Our market are people that are experienced, people that read and know what supplements they want, how much of each product they want to take, how much of each ingredient they need in their supplements. And those people, we're going to continue bringing the best possible products that we can to them specifically. We're not going to make products for women. We're not going to make products for children. Although, children who love our protein, they love our chainsaw. Juan's daughter is constantly stealing his protein. My daughter is stealing my protein. So it's something that I think that at least 2 or 3 products that we make that are good for people of all ages. In terms of new product, I teased about it already, but we are releasing a brand new product in about 3 or 4 weeks called Overtime. And that's going to be, you've seen the formula. So it's going to be, I showed the formula also to TJ, and he said that this should be classified as a nootropic. And when I looked at it, I said, okay, so basically the product is going to be, after talking to a bunch of people, and that get tested on a regular basis, whether it's police officers or whatnot, they want to go out just like us. They want to go and have party, and they want to party and stuff like that. Not to say that I'm taking anything illegal, because it's just not my thing, but people want to go out and have fun. So who said that supplements should be only for going to the gym? You can make hardcore supplements for people that go out. So Overtime is specifically made for really long-lasting energy, time-release long-lasting energy. I would say similar, but still slightly different from Assassin. But also it's going to have that euphoric effect, that nootropic effect that, when you want to go out and you want to have a good time and you want to feel good. So that's the type of product that we are releasing in the next couple of weeks, probably sometimes along with Hooligan 4. So those 2 products, and I just finished the formula for sleep. I talked to a bunch of athletes, especially with the level of training and everything. Some people have hard time sleeping, and there is a couple of good products on the market, but I think this specific product, the formula is already finished. I think it can definitely rival it. In fact, I think that just like everything that we do, we took a little bit like a step further and made something better. Hopefully we'll have it before the end of summer. I'm also working on a new formula for creatine, because everything on the market is creatine monohydrate, micronized creatine. So we do get asked often about creatine, and we have a creatine product which is 50% anhydrous, 50% monohydrate. It's a good creatine, but if you ask me about if there's anything special about it, I will not bullshit you and say there is. There is nothing, you know, and I just feel that Apollon products are slightly different, and unless we have something that is different and better, I don't see a point of having it at all. So the new creatine formula, I will send you secretly so you can evaluate it, but I'm pretty sure it's something that has not been done yet. So you know, it's definitely something good. Um, that's pretty much it for now, at least. So we're looking at about 3 or 4 new products. One of the flavors of Hooligan is going to be a new one. Bare Knuckle is going to be reformulated. It's yes, that is coming out also before the end of summer. Bare Knuckle is going to have less clumping because that was the only issue that we had because of Hydromax.
Yeah.
So it's going to be more pump, less clumping. It's going to be a lot more pump. I mean, this formula is just absolutely insanity. And we also reformulating Enigma. Enigma is going to have EAAs, which is which is I think great. Even though I'll be the first one to say that EAAs are useless more or less, because if you're dieting or if you want them in a formula, they're very, very popular. So I guess we're going a little bit with the market direction in that. It's still going to be Enigma. It's still going to be one of our top products. But I think if you're having enough protein in your diet, do you really need EAAs? I mean, what's the point? But, you know, if people are asking for it, it definitely doesn't hurt. So we're going to include, and it's going to be more EAs than any other company has. So it's not going to be EAs with like 2 grams and that's it, just to say that we have it. This one's going to be packed, absolutely packed. So it's going to be on that Apollon style, fully.
Yeah, we're definitely excited to give them all a go.
Yes, you're upgrading a few bits. You've got a couple of new bits coming out, so you've got quite a lot going on, really. Then
we have a lot going on. We're definitely expanding into more stores, but we have somewhat of a policy that we believe that because of Apollon is so unique, like the stores that we are selling to, if we sell to one store in a specific area, we're not going to sell to its competition because it just creates unnecessary bullshit. And I've seen certain companies that do it, and I think that you're oversaturating the market. It's completely unnecessary. Also, we're on dpsnutrition.com, which is a huge achievement for us. The owner, Doug, is a spectacular guy, and we really enjoy the relationship so far, and you know, we're glad we're there. Also, don't tend to be on every, you know, on every website because it's completely unnecessary. Like there's one popular website that we all know about that has a top 10 and top 50 rating that apparently you have to pay for. I never understood that when, you know, you have a great company and you're number 5, but number 6 or number 4, there's a company that makes nothing but problems. You know, so you're not going to see us there, that's for sure.
No, I get that.
I have way too much pride to pay to be in top 10. I think that I'm in top 10 without paying.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah, that your products is talking.
Yeah, it's completely unreasonable to pay for something like that. If you're rating a company, you rate it based on product popularity, you rate it based on ingredients, rate it based on, I don't know, if you want to rate it based on taste, I guess you can do it too. Although I still don't understand the ratings on flavor. I guess pre-workout flavors are just like, really, I mean, Assassin taste, I mean, you're very generous. You gave it a 2 or 3. I would give it 0. But you know, that's just me. I mean, nevertheless, people buy it. So in retrospect of what we're doing, I feel like, you know, with your help, because you're reviewing the product and you're letting people know about Apollon Nutrition, people like TJ or somebody like the supplement engineer Robert Shinetsky, who I have great respect for, because the guy knows what he's talking about and he actually doesn't hold back. And to me, that's something that serves the consumer the right service in terms of providing them with knowledge that they need to know. And if somebody hates us or somebody dislikes us, I really don't care. Let's hate. You can't avoid that. I mean, you were blocked by a certain company, so you're not very much liked either. I'm pretty sure you don't lose any sleep.
Yeah, no, exactly. If it means telling the truth, then that's what we'll keep doing. So
you can't please everybody. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And you have to pick sides. Either you're gonna be, on the side of honesty and credibility, which is gonna help, I believe, just like it helps grow Apollon, it's gonna help grow a channel like yours because people will believe you. And if you're gonna be a sellout, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time before people are starting to catch up that you're full of shit.
Yeah. And then once they all catch on, that will spiral, and then no one will watch the videos anymore. Or at least we hope.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
I have one question. Craig, when are you going to compete?
You
asked me that question. It's only fair that I ask you too, because every picture you look better.
I like to toy with the idea. I might do towards the end of the year. I mean, I've always stayed natural, so I feel like I'd need to go into the realms of, enhancements if I really want to do well. But that's a whole other story. But I would like to do perhaps a natural show and see how I get on at some point.
Are there a lot of shows where you are in terms of like natural drug tested?
I think there are a lot of shows, but how strict they are on drug testing is a question that leaves a lot to be answered, I guess.
Yeah, you don't want to go competing against people who are obviously enhanced and you're not, and then you look silly in front of them. So it's a tricky subject, really. I'd love to do it. It's just finding the right one, I think, really.
Well, you're definitely not lacking in genetics department, because I've seen every picture you posted. I was pretty sure you're actually doing a show pretty soon.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, some of the pictures I posted from last year when I got really in shape, I got quite obsessed with getting as lean as I could naturally. And then I bulked up over the winter, and now I'm a few weeks into cutting again. So I want to see how I look in another couple of months of doing that, really, and then make an informed decision at the time. So I'm just having fun with it and just seeing what happens at the moment. But I really appreciate the kind words.
Well, it's like I said. I mean, the pictures, speak for themselves. You really do look great, and I think that it's something that you should maybe consider. Another thing is like, especially since we are basically, live recorded, I would like to extend an invitation formally so you guys could come to New Jersey finally. Hopefully before the end of the year, we would like to welcome you here, and perhaps there's a couple of shows that we sponsor. It would be great to bring you so you can go backstage and you can interview people and stuff like that. I just found out that we're going to actually sponsor a show in, I believe it's October. I will send you the dates. It's going to be East Coast Championship, actually not too far from here in New Jersey. So we can do that one. And we are planning a seminar, all-star seminar. We're still confirming the athletes that are going to attend. And that one's going to be probably sometimes beginning of November. So I'm going to send you the dates and everything else, and we would like to welcome you at Apollon. And yeah. Well, I insist. I know that it's very tough with my schedule and everything else, but nevertheless, I think we need to make it happen. And I know a lot of people would love to see you here, so you can do a couple of shows from here.
Yeah, that would be absolutely excellent, and we'll make sure we get lots of content of the gym. Perhaps do another interview with you in person.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the dates, and you can have a look at it, and pick whatever date you want. Obviously, we would love to have you here. We will welcome you to the gym with open arms, and consider it your home in New Jersey.
That'd be excellent. Thank you, Rob.
Yeah,
you're very welcome. Thank you for everything you guys do. I mean, really, you're providing a great service. Obviously, I have to thank you for making Apollon even more popular because of your channel and what you do. And just for the record, for your listeners and everybody else, you never asked me, I never offered, maybe because I'm too cheap, to pay for anything that you guys done, and I really appreciate it. Everybody at Apollon appreciates you. You're doing a phenomenal job, and in my personal opinion, you're among the best right now, and keep doing what you're doing. I only wish you nothing but success in the future.
Thank you, Rob.
That means the world, and we'll never need to obviously be paid by you because your products speak for themselves, and they are genuinely good. So we haven't got anything to hide. We're just honest about them, and that obviously pulls people in. So
and we'll keep going strong at this. We'll keep going.
Yeah, chipping away.
Expect 3-4 products from Apollon in the next couple of weeks.
Brilliant. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you, guys.
We'll speak to you again shortly, and thanks again for the interview.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a nice evening. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.